Hello everybody, this is Skyflight44, aka Zect44, and today we're going to be playing some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist, Link Evolution. Still playing this game. It's been a long time coming, but I finally have some decks I really do like. And they're completely. I'm going through and changing them up as time goes on, and that's kind of what my task is now. Instead of making new decks, let's go and fix some of the ones that kind of lagging behind. The Gemini Force 1 has changed a bit, mainly due to Necrofusion. Now that I have Necrofusion, I can more easily get into tons of fusion monsters. Mainly Archfiend, Black Skull Dragon. This was before kind of difficult to get into, mainly due to the fact that I need a level 6 Archfiend normal monster, which is pretty much Summon Skull. Only Summon Skull. Outside of Red Eyes Archfiend of Lightning, which in Grave is a normal monster, and therefore Necrofusion is far easier to get this card by just going and using it from Grave. Also, Elemental Hero Neo's Alias is also a really good monster because it's, well, number one, Gemini. Number two, can just go to Grave, and from there, we can actually get into Elemental Hero Absolute Zero, Elemental Hero Escurado, and Elemental Hero Great Tornado. We're more likely to get into Great Tornado, or this, though this doesn't really have an effect that we can really use. This is just a free special summon from an extra deck. Featherizer can get us into Great Tornado, and we can, off of either Gemini Summoner or some of the stuff we have in here, number 27, Dreadnoid. Silent Honor Arc is another one that we can go into. That with those, just go into Elementier Absolute Zero. It's not really being used for what it's supposed to. But if it leaves the field, we destroy all of our opponent's monsters, which is pretty cool, not gonna lie. And more likely, we're gonna be getting into Elemental Hero Great Tornado, who, on summon, have the attack and defense of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls, which is pretty cool. Again, we can get that off of Featherizer, or Digesto Emerald, or Castel, the Sky Blasker Musketeer. So many different ways of getting into that one. I'll say that. First of Dragons is much easier to get into now, and Super Alloy Beast Raptinus is also, once again, really easy to get. All Gemini monsters on the field are treated as effect monsters and gain their effects. That's cool. All you need is two, two Gemini monsters in Grave, and a Necrofusion get it for you. That is a much, much better deck in my opinion now. Kingdom of Tunes is another one I went through and fixed up. We have Secret Sanctuary of the Spellcasters. This is the new thing about this deck. I had some ideas of what I wanted to go into and do. And the big thing is a lot of my monsters cannot really attack the turn they are summoned. And that is kind of a problem. It limits what I can go about doing. And so I thought of other ways of just protecting myself. And one of the big things is Secret Sanctuary of the Spellcasters, which I should always have a face-up spell card in Toon Kingdom. Therefore, this should be able to screw around with my opponent. If I control a spellcaster and have a face-up spell card, then if my opponent doesn't have a face-up spell card, any monster they go about summoning cannot activate its effect, nor attack the turn it is summoned. Which basically puts every single one of my Toon monsters on the exact same wavelength as all of their monsters. Considering we were already running Toon Gemini Elf, Toon Mass Sorcerer, and Toon Dark Magician, this wasn't so very difficult. Not to mention, Lemon Magician Girl and Chocolate Magician Girl work very well in this deck. Chocolate Magician Girl just allows me to discard a spellcaster to draw one, or draw one card, which can get us into Toon Kingdom more easily, Toon Table of Contents more easily, and from there, everything, or even then, just getting to Black Stone of Legend, which gets us Red Eyes Toon Dragon, and everything opens up. Not to mention, in Chocolate Magician's effect, if it's being attacked, you can target one spellcaster type monster in your grave, except Chocolate Magician Girl, special summon it. Then change the attack target to it, and if you do, the attacking monster's attack becomes half of its current attack. That is supposed to get us into Toon Dark Magician. Not to mention, Lemon Magician Girl. Once per turn, you contribute one Magician Girl monster, except Lemon Magician Girl. Add one spellcaster monster from your deck to hand. This isn't going to go off very frequently. However, once per turn, if this card is targeted for attack, you can special summon one spellcaster type monster from your hand. But its effects are negated, then change the attack target to it. And if you do, the attacking monster's attack becomes half its current attack. This isn't nearly as good. However, this does allow us to basically get a Toon Dark Magician onto field. And then whatever is going to attack is going to have a very difficult time. Not to mention, and here's the fun part, it can easily attack during that time too. Because it, well, wouldn't have needed to wait anyway. And even then, it basically does that for all of my spellcaster monsters, which is pretty cool. Apprentice Illusion Magician also is just a way of discarding a card and special summoning, or making sure I have a spellcaster on field no matter what. And again, whether or not I need a Toon Dark Magician or spellcaster in grave for Lemon Magician Girl, or Chocolate Magician Girl specifically, I can more easily do that. I would actually need it in hand for Lemon Magician Girl. But this deck is a little bit more easy to get into, specifically Dark Magician or Toon Dark Magician, and is more easy to get into Toon Kingdom, while also, again, screwing with my opponents. Fairy Dreams is probably one that hasn't changed the most, but there are some changes, mainly in Phosphorage the Elemental Lord just being a wonderful, if it can actually happen, a wonderful just special summon, which if it is special summon, you destroy all monsters your opponent controls. You just need to have exactly 5 light monsters in your graveyard. However, with Sacred Arc Air Knight Parshath and with the Sanctum of Parshath, you have the ability of moving fairy monsters from your grave elsewhere, which means you can control exactly how many monsters you have in the graveyard. Also, we have Tethys, Goddess of Light, which allows us to, when we draw a fairy monster, reveal it, and then we can draw one more card. Also, we changed our solemn, what was it called? I think it might be, it wasn't Solemn Warning. But whatever one it was, I forget. We changed it with Solemn Strikes because we're trying more to negate monster effects. It still can do a special summon, but monster effects is more of what I kind of want to go through and negate, mainly for Power Angel Valkyria, in order to get a light monster from deck to hand, which can be, number 1, Tethys, Goddess of Light, or Phosphorage the Elemental Lord. I can also more easily, with Drastic Drop Off, just have an easy to activate Counter Trap. While it isn't going to negate anything, it does screw my opponent out of a card. And for something like Minerva, Meltiel, and Bountiful Artemis, all of these are still going to have their effects proc off, even though Power Angel Valkyria isn't. Not to mention, it also works for Sacred Arc Air Knight Parshath. The entire reason why we were using Negate Attack was specifically to have an easy counter trap to activate. and Drastic Drop Off is a very easy one to activate. And then finally, AB Cyber Dragon. This is easily my favorite deck that I have changed up. It is so much fun, mainly due to the fact that I found a specific few cards that really cool. Now, there is Vylon Cube, and this kind of changes how this deck works. I forget when I actually put in Light Ray Sorcerer, but Light Ray Sorcerer is very easy to special summon in this deck. But Vylon Cube can easily get me into a just a synchro summon if I have any of my regular cards on the field. Not to mention, if I synchro summon a light monster, which will be just a light 7, or possibly an 8. If it's one of the 7s, then I'm going to gain a card off of Vylon Cube, and I'm going to be gaining a card off of, or some kind of advantage off of any of my other cards going to grave. Vylon Cube, when it's sent to the grave for a synchro summon of a light monster, you can add one equipped spell card from your deck to your hand. And the one you're going to want is Refusion. Activate this card by paying 800 life points, then target one fusion monster in your graveyard, special summon it, and equip it with this card. When this card is destroyed, banish the equipped monster. So, how is this useful? Number one, we can easily get into several of these fusion monsters, and that's where we're definitely trying to do. And the big thing is, Refusion can get us back ABC Dragon Buster. It must first be special summoned from your extra deck by banishing the above cards you control or from your graveyard, which means we can get this back if we do this properly the first time. Thing is, this card allows us to, during our opponent's turn, to tribute it and special summon 3 Union or Light Union machine monsters from that are banished to the field, which means we can get these 3 back. And then we can easily just get Refusion to get back the AB Dragon Buster. Not to mention, if we just go and do that to begin with, we can easily just normal summon Vylon Cube, synchro off, get some wonderful effects off, and then easily get into some other stuff. Not to mention, if we also get all of those other ones into grave, we could just get another ABC Dragon Buster on the field. I love this card. Not to mention, I read one card, and it just made me think to myself, oh my god, this card looks like so much fun. Oh, it's a fairy monster. Vylon Epsilon is an interesting card. It requires 1 light tuner, 1 or more non-tuner monsters. Equipped cards equipped to this card cannot be targeted by cards or effects. Once per turn, you can send 1 equipped card equipped to this card to grave to target one monster your opponent controls and destroy that target. Yeah, if this wasn't a fairy and it was a machine monster, we could just add any of these 3 to it. And because you can't target it, it's going to be very difficult to get rid of these cards from it. And it will be easy to turn this thing so that it can't be affected by, well, your opponent's trap effects, or your opponent's spell effects, or your opponent's monster effects. So, that's pretty cool. It wouldn't be pretty much affected by anything our opponents have. And then we could also send one of them to grave. And with those to grave, they would also go about, again, having their effects go off, which would be pretty cool. Good thing there's DNA surgery. And why would I even want DNA surgery? Why? To make everything on the field machine. Because I can have Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon or Chimera Tech Mega Fleet Dragon just suck up all my opponent's machine monsters. If I have a Cyber Dragon on the field, good thing about it is I have better Cyber Dragons now. All 3 of the regular Cyber Dragons, Cyber Dragon Dre, and Cyber Dragon Vier. All of these cards are 100% Cyber Dragons while on the field. They have some pretty good effects, and they can easily get me into um, either Violon Epsilon with Violon Cube, or going into Cyber Dragon Nova and Infinity. This deck has a lot that it can go about doing, and I really, really do adore what this deck can do now. It is so much better. Also, some of the polymerizations have been changed to Necrofusion because, again, with everything you can go about doing, you can easily get a Cyber Twin Dragon out onto field, or a Cyber Eternity Dragon out onto field, no matter what you really have in grave, as long as you have a Cyber Dragon, or even any of these. I went through and had for my Synchros a Black Rose Moonlight Dragon and Michael the Arc Lightsworn. Specifically, Michael is the one we want to go into off of Violon, because once per turn you can pay 1,000 life points, then target one card in the field, banish that target. Hey, seems like ABC Dragon Buster. Except this card also has the Lightsworn effect of once per turn during end phase, send the top 3 cards of your deck to grave. This, if it goes about sending any of these, is more likely going to get us into an ABC Dragon Buster. Yeah, it sounds pretty cool. I love the deck. So, today we're going to, once I get all of these decks completely revamped, we're going to be going about playing through them, though I'm probably going to be playing through that AB Cyber Dragon deck at least once this this video. We're going to be doing more. I definitely want to go and get Arc V and Brains up. But for right now, I kind of want to go through and do more of 5Ds. Big thing is I want to finish unlocking boosters. And I still have one more booster that I can unlock in 5Ds. And that's going to be Yusei. And it's mainly due to the fact that a lot of the boosters I already have unlocked, not all of them, but the majority of them, I've put in quite a lot of points into. I have a lot of cards, and I'm hungry for more. This is pretty decent hands. Okay, so technically... Okay, so that one has to be actually on field. I can technically have Blackwing Steam the Cloak, summon that, and because I control a Blackwing, I can summon Bora. I can send Blackwing Mistral the Silver Shield from hand to basically send that away, which, yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that first. And we can just send you to grave. Ooh, that's lovely. What do we have in our extra deck? We have Blackwing Armor Master, which is pretty cool, and Blackwing, Silverwing, the Ascendant. Damn it. Okay, yeah, that's screwing with me. You can target 2 face-up monsters on the field with defense lower than this card's attack. Destroy those targets. You cannot conduct your battle phase or turn. You activate this effect. During each of your opponent's turns, the first Blackwing monster you control that would be destroyed by battle is not destroyed. That's actually pretty cool. At least the secondary effect. This one I like a little bit more. Cannot be destroyed by battle, and you take no battle damage from attacks involving this card. At the end of the damage step, if this card attacked a monster, you can place 1 wedge counter on the monster. You remove all wedge counters from your opponent's monsters. The attack and defense of those monsters that had wedge counters becomes 0 until the end of this turn. So I can I kind of got rid of my opponent's monster, so I'm probably not going to be using Shora. Let's go use Blackwing Steam the Cloak, Special Summon Bora. And then we can get into Blackwing Armor Master. We can also get our Steam token. And let's attack. I am going to set Icarus attack, but I'm definitely not thinking about using it. Mainly just because, well, what I... Oh, yeah, that doesn't matter. I'm just... I'm not liking that card. So with Blackwing Blizzard the Far North, I can summon this, and I can get a level 1, 4 or lower Blackwing monster in my grave, special summon it. But I'm not going to really have anything I can go into. Okay, if this card summoned this way is used as synchro material, all other synchro materials must be black. Okay. So you can only... You contribute one monster, special summon this card from the grave. Okay, that's interesting. That means I can easily get Blackwing Sting the Cloak, and technically, like, Bora by tributing Blizzard the Far North. But I think I'm just going to stick with Shora. Yeah, let's just stick with Shora for the moment. Once Swords of Revealing Light is up, I can easily just go after my opponent. Gen X controller. Interesting. Ah, that works. I'm not going to use that. My opponent already has Trap Reactor out. So let's summon you. We can use you to get back Bora. And then I can get back Steam the Cloak, Tributing Bora. And before I do anything, let me just stick with this. I'm going to go about destroying Gen X controller. Shora is going to give me a Blackwing from deck to hand. Interesting. Oh no, I can just, it's not deck to hand, it's just straight up to, I get to special summon it. Yeah, let's get you. Okay. So we can go and destroy you, which is gonna bring back Icarus attack. Attack with everybody else. And now I should actually have enough monsters in order to go into my other synchro. And I also still have Blackwing Steam the Cloak to tribute off for Icarus attack. So I have a pretty good board in my opinion. However, if my opponent only has one card on the field, then I might as well not do anything. Okay, so let's just destroy whatever he has. That should be game. Nothing here is all that very interesting, but we got 2 of those. Must mean we got pretty much everything else he has. Or likely to be that. Hopefully this is going to either unlock Yusei's booster or possibly the... Was it? I think it was Rudger. Was the spider guy. Okay, tuning, lovely. I always love starting out with, God damn, how many terraformings do you have? I already got myself a junk synchron, that's cool. Let's get another junk synchron. Discard a tuning. Well, might as well, considering the fact that we already had one in hand. So what can we get that's a 7? Nothing. Well, with Trident Warrior, we can only get a junk synchron on the field. However... yeah, let's just go for it. Yeah, and you're just gonna do it again. But while you have no cards in your hand, you can tribute this card to special summon up to 2 Inferno Beetle from your deck. That's fine. Not like that's actually going to be too useful to you unless you have another card. Only problem is whatever this is. So we can go Speed Warrior. Go into Junk Warrior. I know I could have attacked there. But I like going into my Junk Warrior first. Even though it isn't nearly as proper way. Problem is, I'm not entirely familiar with the Infernity archetype, outside of the fact that I know it requires to have no cards in hand for a lot of the effects to go off. flip summon. Only when your opponent summons a monster. Special summon one level 4 lower monster from your hand and face up defense position. Return it to the owner's hand during the end phase. So unfortunately, I need a Majestic Dragon and one other non-tuner monster, which has to be a 1. Either or, let's go through and... Let's go through, bring back Junk Synchron. Go into Stardust Dragon. This gives us some destruction protection. And then with Junk Synchron, we can get back Speed Warrior and then go into another Junk Warrior. So this, well, isn't, fortunately, not going to be lethal, but it is going to cripple my opponent. Yeah, so that's gone. You can't go and deal with my attacks, but what do you have? Doesn't seem as if you have anything. Ah, King Cabio. Pretty cool. Now, if only I had Majestic Dragon in my grave. I definitely have never made it into, was it Stardust Majestic Dragon? I forget what the card's called. Oh, and there is the Yusei Fudo booster pack. Exactly what I was hoping for. Ah, that's right before that fight. Might as well go for it, but let's see if we can go further into the Zexal campaign as well. Because I would love to be able to get into another booster in this one as well. I have quite a lot of Synchro monsters, and to be honest, I also have quite a few Xyz monsters too. What I don't have is pretty much any pendulums, and I definitely don't really have a lot of Link monsters. Like, a lot of the Link monsters I have are kind of specific. Like, there really isn't too many of them that are generic. Which I kind of prefer, but we should definitely be getting a few more of those. Okay, so story deck. Let's see what we're gonna have. Now, Quentin is a... I hate this guy. Granted, not as much as... I hate fighting this guy. Though his younger... or his younger brother is far more of a dick and far more hateable. Okay, so if you control no monsters, special summon one level 4 lower photon or galaxy monster from your deck. Cool. You cannot normal summon set during the turn you activate this. Okay. Is there anything? Once per turn, you can increase this card's level by 4 until the end of this turn. You contribute this card, add 1 Galaxy card from your deck to your hand, except Galaxy Wizard. Interesting. The big thing is we were trying to go into Neo Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. So, all other face-up cards currently on the field have their effects negated. Once per turn, you can detach one material from this card, detach all materials from monsters your opponent controls, and then this card gains 500 attack for each. Also, it can attack up to that many times during each battle phase this turn. Really powerful. But in order to get into that, we kind of need 3 level 8 monsters. Galaxy Wizard can be one of them. Let's go through, use Zexal Light. Photon Pirate. You can banish 1 Photon monster from your graveyard. Okay, gains 1000 end phase. I'm thinking about just going and getting Galaxy Wizard. Yeah, let's just go with Galaxy Wizard. Then we can use its effect and get ourselves a Galaxy Monster to hand. Obviously gonna want to get Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon because of its effect. So, at that point in time, we're gonna go to end phase. That's fine. I don't really like the fact that you have a UFO turtle. But I don't really think it's going to matter too much. Let's go and special summon Photon Thrasher, and then we can just normal summon Photon Thrasher. Or Photon Crusher. Get rid of both of them for Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. And as long as I can get into... Okay, so let's see what this does. So, this has the effect of... if it battles an opponent's monster, that monster's effect is negated during the battle phase only. That's fine. UFO turtle is going to get you another UFO turtle. That's fine. No. Okay, so Galaxy Expedition. If you control a level 5 or higher Photon and Galaxy Monster, special summon 1 level 5 or higher Photon and Galaxy Monster from your deck in defense position. That's cool. Is there anything in my deck that would be nice? Don't really want another one of these, but might be nice. Galaxy Knight's actually pretty cool. Yeah, let's go with a Galaxy Knight. The fact that it has 2600 defense is one of the reasons why I kind of want it. And I'm not going to be using you just yet. Okay. Trying to get a field spell, that's fine. I'm going to let this go to next turn. He needs to get out a really high-ranked monster is the big thing. Interesting. That card's not all that very useful to me. We can change you to attack. And And we're going to see if we can run through the rest of your monsters. Okay, you have another UFO turtle. I could attack, but I don't really want you to. I don't know whether or not he has a rank 4 or whether or not he needs whatever he can get off a UFO turtle. At least at this point in time, I can attack in and then attack him with my other monster. Oh, this is nice. Oh, this is really going to be nice. So we can attack in for 2,500. And destroy this. That's going to get you Battle Footballer. Okay. Then we can deal another 18. However, we do not have enough. We do not have enough to be able to close it out. So I'm just going to go to end phase. I'm saving that Call of the Haunted for whenever if I really need it. Why are you... Okay, yeah, now you're gonna get it. So now you have Dyson Sphere. This is his main monster. Once per... Let's check. So, once per battle step during your opponent's turn, if this card with Xyz material is attacked, negate the attack. When this card is targeted for an attack while it has no Xyz materials, you can target 2 monsters in your graveyard. Attach those targets to this card as Xyz materials. During your main phase 1, you can detach 1 Xyz materials from this card. This card can attack your opponent directly this turn. Your opponent must control a monster with higher attack than this card for you to activate and resolve this effect. Okay. So we also have Pirate. So now let's get Call of the Haunted. We will get Galaxy Wizard up. We can activate the effect to increase the level of it to 8. Go into Neo, Galaxy Eyes, Photon Dragon, I believe. $4,500. So, if this card is Xyz summoned using Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon as any of its materials, all of the face-up cards currently on the field have their effects negated. Cool, so that no longer has its effect. You can use this effect to get rid of Galaxy Wizard. And we can summon Photon Pirate. Kill you off and attack again. I remember how to beat this one. I knew that card was going to be trouble. Because the big thing is you either have to use Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon's effect to basically banish both of you, or you have to go through and use Neo Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon to actually kill it off. So before the end of this, let's go into Duelist challenges. We can find... Oh, this one's going to be fun. Georgia Karakuri. We will go through and use our AB Cyber Dragon deck. Why? Because I just want to. So we can go first, though I kinda like going second with this deck. Because I like having number 1 more cards, and also just kinda having my opponent... I kinda like having my opponent Machina Fortress. That's cool. I can actually use that now. If this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, target 1 card your opponent controls. Destroy that target before resolving any opponent's monster's effect. That targets this face-up card. Look at your opponent's hand and discard 1 card from their hand. That's pretty cool. However, we can go into Nova, and then we can go into Cyber Dragon Affinity. So you can target 1 face-up monster or attack position monster field, attach it to this card as material once per turn. When a card or effect is activated, you can detach 1 material from this card and negate the activation. If you do, destroy it. So let's get out Cyber Dragon. Let's summon Cyber Dragon Dre. We'll use its effect to get up to 5. We can go into Nova. And then we can go into Infinity. We can send, or we can get Machina Fortress. Oh, fine, that's cool. Light Ray Sorcerer is the least useful card in my hand right now. So Cyber Dragon Affinity is just going to be cool. So we can negate, once per turn when a card or effect is activated, you can negate 1, or negate it and destroy it by sending 1 material. The big reason why I wanted to go through, because I had a chance of possibly banishing that Machina Fortress, but I want to keep it out of its graveyard. Or else that card is just going to be coming back. Okay, once per turn, you can change this face up, or this card to face down defense position. Okay. That's cool. Yeah, we're gonna deal with that. Let's get rid of Dre. Okay, we have rollout. We can summon a Assault Core. And then attack him with Cyber Dragon Infinity. Guess that's gonna be it. I mean, just having Cyber Dragon Infinity in itself is really powerful. Ah, look at that Violon Cube. Oh, well, let's go Synchro Summon into Michael the Arc Light Swarm. Michael the Arch Light Swarm, really powerful. We can use Violon Cube, getting Refusion to hand. Create the effect of a card. Nah. Pay 1,000, banish this. And from there, that's game, to be honest. I do believe that's lethal. Wow, this deck is more powerful than I thought it was. Because even if I just had my Union monsters, I still could have went with ABC, Dragon Buster, or even just going into Michael Arch Lightsworn is usually enough to be able to wrestle control out of or away from my opponent. And again, because majority of these send my Union monsters to grave, I still gain the, or I still get the benefits from sending them to grave. Oh well, with that being said, what can we get in here? Actually, now that we have Yusuke unlocked, let's see if we can get some more cards from him. A Junk Barrage can be useful. Effect Veiler is definitely useful. Definitely liking the fact that I got that. Supreme Arcanite Magician, not so much. TGs might be interesting. Cosmic Flare. It took me so long to get Stardust Dragon. So long. Okay, Big One Warrior. What is this? During your main phase, you can send one level 1 monster except this card from your hand to the graveyard to special summon this card from your hand. Interesting. I know that there was one really powerful monster that if you have like 4 level 1 monsters on the field, you can send them all to grave. To special summon like a 5,000 attack and defense point monster. Night Assailant's pretty cool. Sand Gambler at the same time is also pretty cool. I kind of want to run a gamble deck at some point in time. Okay. Colossal Fighter, Gravity Warrior. They're just more synchros. Colossal Warrior could be interesting. Backfire. I definitely like this. Face up fire monster you control is destroyed and sent to the grave. Inflict 500 damage to your opponent. And cards of consonance is a really good one. Discard 1 dragon tuner with 1000 and less attack. Draw 2 cards. Is that ever going to be useful when I eventually make a Dragonity deck? Just not immediately. I make that deck every single time I play this game. Or every single time I play anything Yu-Gi-Oh! That can make a Dragonity deck, I make one. Okay, nothing really interesting outside of maybe a Shield Wing. Arcanite Magician Assault Mode. Must be special summoned with Assault Mode activated. This card special summon. Place 2 spell counters on it and gain 1000 attack for each spell counter on it. If you can remove 2 spell counters from this card, destroy all cards your opponent controls. When this card in the field is destroyed, you can target 1 Arcanite Magician in your graveyard, special summon that target. Okay. That is pretty interesting, considering the fact that nowhere on this card does it say it has a maximum of 2 spell counters. And yeah, that doesn't seem as if it's a once per turn either, so that's a pretty interesting card. A Stardust Chronicles Spark Dragon. 1 tuner Synchro Monster plus 1 non-tuner Synchro Monster. Must be Synchro Summoned once per turn. Quick effect. You can banish 1 Synchro Monster from your graveyard. This card is unaffected by other card effects for the rest of the turn. This card in its own possession is destroyed by an opponent's card by a battle or card effect. You can target 1 of your banished Dragon Synchro Monsters. Special summon it. Interesting. Destrudo, the Lost Dragon's Frisian. This card is in your hand or graveyard. You can pay half your life points and target one level 6 or lower monster you control. Special summon this card. If you do, this card's level is reduced by the level of the targeted monster. Also, place this card on the bottom of the deck. If it leaves the field, you can only use its effective Destrudo, the Lost Dragon's Frisian, once per turn. So this is an easy way of getting into a level 7 synchro summon. Okay, Mech Lord, Astral Dragon, Asterisk. I'm not really interested. Wow, I already have 3 of these. That's pretty cool. Shining Silver Force. Activate only when your opponent activates a trap card that inflicts damage. Negate the activation of that card and destroy it in all face-up spell or trap cards your opponent controls. That's somewhat interesting. But not really anything you can, use or plan around. Just something you throw into a side deck. With that being said, have a nice day, everybody.